Alright, what's up, everybody? Your boy's back with part four of the series. I'm here, Power Forwards. Um, I know it's been a few days. I probably should have, been more considerate of how long it's been since I posted the last video. But we're here. We're here with the Power Forwards. I'm very sorry it took this long to get this part four out. I know it's been like 6 days or something since I posted the last one. That's on me. I've been just streaming other games, having some fun. I need to really get back into streaming threes too, because it's been a while. But I hope all you guys are having a great day. I do apologize that it's taken this long to finish the series. I got to do the power forwards and centers, so I apologize for that. Um, I do want to do a P-Buffs video. I think I said that last episode. I want to do a P-Buffs video afterwards, so what P-Buffs you guys should be running, or what I recommend personally. Like I said, all this stuff that I tell you guys is just my opinion, so don't be like, oh, it's the hardcore facts or anything. This is obviously just my opinion and what I personally run. So like I said, everyone has their own preferences and stuff. But we're doing power forwards today. We'll be going over uh, which ones I think are the best ones. We'll be rating them. We'll be going over their P buffs. Uh, which ones are like meta characters, stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into it. We're gonna be starting from the newest one and then going to the oldest one. Now, probably the next character will be a power forward. So I'm very certain of that too. I'm like 100% in my mind the next character is a power forward. There is no doubt in my mind that it won't will be like another position. I think it's going to be a power forward. But for right now, we have to start with Deacon. Now I think this is besides maybe small forwards, this is probably the most well-rounded class. Like you really can't go wrong in this class. It's just such a good um, position. Like this is probably the meta position because not many people play centers in the meta these days because power forwards are obviously faster and they're more versatile to guarding the perimeter. So, uh, well, let's get it right into it though. Our first character, which is the most recently released character, is Deacon. Now, Deacon, I shouldn't have to say much about, but since obviously there's a lot of new players that watch, this guy's a stud. That's really all I can say about it. The guy is probably the best character in the game. Like one of them. Like when it comes to bigs, this guy's probably the best big in the game. Either him or another character I'll be talking about soon, and as we get down this list. But Deacon is a absolute animal. He can do everything. He can go guard the perimeter. He can block shots. He can get rebounds. He can shoot the ball if you can make him a shooter. Like I said, this guy can really do everything. If we're talking like, and on top of it, he's got a good P buff too. He's got the rebound P buff, which if you're a big, you probably want to run that. Obviously, most people need to have a high rebound and obviously some good ping, and then you can be a really good big in the game. But that's another thing I want to say before I even go over the bigs. If you guys want to be a big main, make sure you have good ping, and I mean like check your ping. Like don't try to be a big if you got like 80 ping or if you got like 100 ping or even like 50, 60 is like decent. But like if you a guy that you got like and you don't play big, you got like 30 ping or less, you should probably be a big. Like 35 and less, you should probably be a big. Like you can get boards over most people. It also comes down to your timing. You actually have to time when you grab the rebounds too. But I'm saying like if you got 35 or less ping, you'll be a good big in this game. So it really comes down to like what your ping is and how you build your bigs. So those both come into consideration. But back to Deacon. He's got a good P buff. Skills are really good. Um, he's versatile. He can really do a little bit of everything. His dunk's really annoying to guard. So like yeah, this guy is an animal. He's definitely in the meta character right here. Probably like a 9.5 out of 10 on the scale, bro. Like this guy can do everything. Animal stud. That's enough of him. Let's go on to our next one. Our next one is Faye, another DLC character. Um, Faye is she's one of the two in this that I might sound a little controversial when I say this, but I think she's mid. And I wouldn't. I think she's mid, and the reason I say this is because she doesn't really bring anything special to the table. Like there's just better options, better options. Um, you're talking about a character that can do a little bit of everything as well, but I'm going to prefer to play Deacon over her. Like if I have the options to play, I'm gonna play Deacon over her. Faye is a good character, but there's just better options in her position. Obviously, she's a good rebounder. She has a good P buff. She's got the rebound P buff. She can chip out, which is nice. She has that little catch in throw, like the little catch rebound and throw it in. Like it's kind of like her own version of a tip in. But yeah, it's not that she's bad. It's that she is a mediocre character. I think there's better options. Obviously, her P buff's very good, so that's why people should P5 her if you want to be a full rebounder. Her P buff's going to be very good for you. Uh, but yeah, if we're talking like on the scale, probably like a 6.5 between there, probably there, 6.5. I just think there's better options, but like you can't go wrong playing Faye. Like she's got a good dunk and stuff. You can't. She won't be a bad option for you to pick, but I think definitely there'll be a couple better options on this list as we get to the end of it. Um, but yeah, let's go on to the next one. Now, our last DLC character. This is the last of the three purchasable DLC characters with Max, Faye, and Deacon. They're all purchasable, where the other three are you can get with just blue coins. Max is um, very good. I think he's very underrated too. He can do a little bit of everything, especially in 3x3. A lot of people use him because of Jimmy, the Jimmy spam and the Deacon spam. So he can get you that little upper steal and get you a couple extra possessions. Max is very versatile. He's probably one of the best shooters out of all of these characters that we have listed here. I think he's very underrated and his pick rate's probably very low. But yeah, this guy can rebound. He can shoot. He's got the upper steal. He's got the chip out. He's got the power rebound. Like this guy, he's got good skill. He's got everything, and he's got probably one of the best P buffs with the 14.4 moving speed, which is everyone needs to run on your PFs. So this guy, you're getting a good, you're P5ing him, so you get all of his good skills, and you're also getting a good P buff. So that's a W all around. For him, I'm probably putting him at like a 8 out of 10, probably 8 out of 10, 8, 8.5 maybe I'm pushing, but like 8, 8.5, in between there. We have Lulu. Um, Lulu is, I have the same problem with her as I do with Faye. I don't think she's bad at all. I don't think she's a shitty, like, bottom tier character, but I think there's just better options in her position. She kind of reminds me, like, of Faye with probably, like, less of the dunking because she's very easy to block with her dunks. Um, but yeah, Lulu can shoot the ball very well. Um, she's got a good mid range. You can make her a good 3-point shooter. She's got a good P buff with the 3-point success rate. She's not a bad rebounder, but she doesn't really bring anything to the table. A lot of her skills are mainly like ISO skills, where as a big, I don't really want an ISO scorer. Personally, I'd rather just have like a spot up shooter. But I don't think Lulu's bad though. Not many people play Lulu. Shout out to DLAJ. He plays Lulu all the time, so he's a pretty good Lulu. Um, but yeah, I think Lulu's a fairly good character, but there's just better options in this list of characters. So I'd probably put her in the same tier as like Faye, like a 6, 6.5. So viable is not a bad option, but I think there's better characters in the lineup. Our next character is Murdoch. Um, Murdoch is probably the same as Deacon. Like I said earlier when I said they're 1 and 2. No, they're like 1A and 1B. Murdoch and Deacon are the meta. If people are playing power forwards, there's a 95% chance they're going to play Murdoch or Deacon. Murdoch's an animal. This guy's probably, when it comes to bigs, probably the best defender in the game. He could be the best defender in the game because he can guard everywhere. He can guard guards, he can guard forwards, he can guard center, he can guard everywhere. This guy can do everything. He can shoot the ball fairly well if you make him a good shooting build. He's a good rebounder. He's got good box out. His dunks obviously are pretty easy to block, so you're not going to use him really to dunk much. Um, and he can defend everywhere. So like we're in a defensive meta these days, so Murdoch's gonna be a meta character probably forever because defensive meta is just gonna be threes from now on, pretty much. Um, but yeah, and he's got a good P buff. He's got a mid range, which like I said, most people run 3 point, but if you want to be a mid range shooter, then Murdoch's your guy to run. So the P buff's not bad either. And he's got the shadow block as well, so he can get chased down, which is very nice. Murdoch on the scale, he's probably the same as Deacon, like a 9.5. You really can't go wrong playing this guy. If you're probably playing ranked or playing a meta game, or not a meta game, a comp game, you're gonna run probably Murdoch or Deacon as your big if you're playing a power forward, because most people don't really play centers that much anymore. They're kind of moving away from it. But this guy's a stud. That's really all that needs to be said. He's an animal. And then our last character is going to be Clark. I think everyone remembers, if you're an old player and you played this game years ago, ISO Clarks were the thing back in the day. People are kind of moving away with them, but Clark's still a fairly picked character. Um, he's very good. He's got probably one of the best P buffs. He's got the 3 point success rate, but it's the 6% instead of Lulu with the, I think it's 3.4. Um, so yeah, he's very good. He's got his dunks, which are so annoying to block and go against, especially if you have more range and you can make them faster if you upgrade them. Um, he can shoot the ball fairly well, like surprisingly can shoot the ball fairly well, the mid-range fairly well, the 3 point fairly well. If you get the success rate, he's pretty fast, so he can play pretty good defense. His shot blocking ability is actually very nice too. His rebounding is pretty fair because he's got the power rebound, and he's very athletic. So yeah, you can't go wrong with Clark. He's probably behind. I probably put him ahead of Max, but like behind Murdoch and Deacon. So he's probably like at a 9 out of 10 for me, especially adding in the P buff. Um, but yeah, you can't go wrong playing this guy either. I wouldn't say he's meta, but he's definitely good, like really good. You're not gonna play a ranked game and see a lot of Clarks, but when it comes to like having fun in the game, you're gonna have a lot of fun playing Clark, and he's definitely gonna win you some games, like a lot of games. So like I said, this whole class is very well balanced, especially with the P buffs and the characters themselves. You can't go wrong picking any of these really. Um, if I was starting out building these, I'd probably start with Murdoch and Deacon. I mean, if you're not obviously if you're not buying any DLC characters, then I would just start with Murdoch and then build a Clark, and then probably do Lulu last. Um, but if you bought all the characters, I'd probably start with a Murdoch and a Deacon, and then probably build a Max and a Clark, and then do Lulu and Faye last. But I would build all of these characters. I don't have a Faye personally, but I have all the other five built. Um, Faye's probably my least favorite out of all these characters, but she's still not a bad character. I recommend that everyone build all these characters. They're very good. It all comes down to what kind of playstyle you play, and if you really want to be a meta character, or you want to be a meta player. It all depends on how you want to play the game. But like I said, we're gonna go over the skills now with each character. We'll start with Deacon. We'll go over the skills, and I'll tell you my opinions on them, obviously. So we'll get started on that. So now we start with Deacon. We have dunk at will, just a basic skill. Every power forward can dunk, so it's just a basic skill. Box out, just a basic skill for bigs. Boxing out your enemy big so you can get a rebound. Chip out, which is really good for bigs. You can switch it up from just grabbing the board to just chipping it out. Power rebound, so you can get the rebound even if it bounces away like a couple feet out. You can go grab it. Push post, this was very overpowered, but they nerfed it, so it's just kind of decent now. But not many people use it unless it's 3x3. Shoulder charge, they did nerf this as well, but it's not bad still. You really just need to be, like, your accuracy with it has to be pretty good to use it. And then the tackle, which mainly people only use when it's a jump ball at the start of the game, or in overtime, you can get a tackle off and then grab the board. So overall, this guy's a stud. animal. Everything about this guy is just great. His skills are good. Everything's great. And then we go over to Faye. Now I don't have any of these skills upgraded, so I'm just gonna be. I don't really play Faye, but obviously she got the dunk at will. Um, just a basic skill. Her and Deacons are very hard to block sometimes because they do like the 360. They got the box out, which is a basic skill. Manual layup, another basic skill. And then she's got the steal counter, which I don't really see many people using this, but it's not that bad. Um, she's got the chip out as well, which is good for a big, helps her rebound. She's got the rebound and shot, like I said. Not many people use this often, but it's not a bad skill at all. Kind of brings something to the table, like something new. And then she's got the self alley-oop dunk. Not many, a lot of people probably use this the most on Faye. It's pretty effective, but you can, if you're playing against a good defender, they'll get around that pretty easily. So like I said, not bad skills, but she doesn't really, for me, she doesn't really bring anything to the table. But not bad. And then we go to Max. We have box out, like I said, a basic skill. Chip out, it's always good. Um, the upper steal, which is actually really good. It can really, bring people from not driving in the paint because they know you can get a steal. Deny intercept because Max is mainly a defender and rebounder. That's how he was made to be a character. A legal screen, which means he can move the screen. The only problem that people have with this is that it uses a lot of your stamina. So you don't really want to be using that much. Power rebound's always good for a big. And then you have the tip in, which you can get away with if you're, you can get away with this probably a couple times a game, but not that often. Um, yeah, so overall, Max really has great skills. I'd say he's more of a I'd play him as a defender and rebounder, and then maybe a spot up shooter if you can get some 3-point cards on him. Then we go over to Lulu. Lulu's got the dunk at will, which is just a basic skill. The box out, same thing as the other characters. Chip out, good for rebounding as the other characters are. She has the pick and move where she can set a screen and then she can dash to whatever side she wants to go. It can really help you space the floor more and get an easy shot off a pick and roll. Manual layup, another one, just a basic skill, helps her get around, get an easy layup. The quick post turn, I don't really see many people use this, but like you can catch the ball and then do a quick spin and then get a shot off, but not many people use this. And then the spin move, it's a cool skill when you watch it, but it's not that great. Like no one's gonna use this when they're playing in like a comp game or anything, but it's fun to watch though. But she's not bad at all. Then we go over to Murdoch. His skills, we got dunk at will, which isn't bad at all. And especially with his, it's one of the worser dunks because him and Lulu's is one of the easier ones to block. But if you get the honey dip, it's not that bad, which is level 7, but not many people are gonna max that out. Then you got box out, which is a basic skill. Manual block, which is disgusting. This is what makes him so good. And the power block, that's what also makes him so good. These two make him so unstoppable. And then you got the screen body check, which he can set a screen, then lean left or right into the person going around the screen. And then you got the deny intercept, which helps him obviously because he's a defender. And then he's got the block and catch, which you can only use on jump shots. You can't use on dunks or like layups, or you can use it on layups. You can't use it on dunks. Excuse me. And then he has also the shadow block, which you can get chase downs if someone gets by you. And then we get to Clark, obviously our last one. Dunk at will. Everyone should max this out because it makes him unstoppable. It's really what he's mainly known for. Box out, which is a basic skill. His skyhook shot, no one really uses this at all. It's not really even that great, to be honest with you. I don't really even recommend putting any time or effort to learning this skill. It's not really that good. The post-up fake, I literally cannot get good at this whatsoever. But I know a lot of people that are good at using this, and it's not bad. You can get away with it once or twice in a game. Manual layup, sometimes you can fake people out and do a layup instead of dunking it, because they always expect to dunk when you play Clark, and then you can just do a little easy layup. And then you got the power rebound, which is fairly, obviously everyone knows is fairly good. And then you got the tip in. Obviously, you can get away with this once in a while in a game. But yeah, Clark's very athletic and can go get you boards and score when he has to, really. But yeah, that's really the whole class of characters. This is a very well-rounded class, especially with P buffs. Most of them all have a good P buff. I think all of them have a good P buff, to be honest, depending on what you're looking for with your P buffs. Um, but yeah, this is part 4, I think, or episode 4. Yeah, episode 4 um, of the series. Obviously, Ascenders will be coming out soon. Obviously, like I said, this is all my opinions, and I do hope this helps out newer players or people that are just looking for new characters. Obviously, I just want to help you guys out. Um, but as a player that's been playing this game for 5 years, I know somewhat about this stuff. But obviously, it's just my opinion. But I hope this did help you guys out. Hopefully, you found any of this interesting or in helps you out learning some of the characters and their skills and which ones are good, because I don't want you guys to upgrade characters that really aren't that good when you could be upgrading other characters that are in the meta. Uh, but that's really all I got. Um, Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I hope this was very helpful for anyone out there. But that's it for me. I'll catch you guys in episode 5. I will try to get back into streaming on threes. I need to do that. But that's really all I got, and I'll catch you guys in part 5. Peace.